And welcome back to Rejects Learning Russian. Today we're going to be talking about Moskva, also known as...
Who are we?
Oh, I'm Ryan.
I'm Heath.
And today we're going to be talking about Moskva, also known as Moscow for those that speak English.
Correct.
So, Moscow has a very in-depth history. Did you know that?
I did not. Elaborate.
The first known reference to Moscow dates all the way back to 1147.
Wow. AD?
I don't know. I just see 1147. I'm assuming it's AD.
I think it is.
At the time, it was a minor town on the western border of Vladimir Suzdal Principality.
Principality?
Yeah, that word. That's a big word for little Orion here. The Chronicle says, "Come, my brother, to Moscow." So, also in the history of Moscow, when the USSR was dissolved in the same year, Moscow was remained the capital of the Russian SFSR on December 25th, 1991. The Russian SFSR was renamed the Russian Federation. Since then, a market economy has emerged in Moscow, producing an exploitation of Western-style retailing, services, architecture, and lifestyles.
Oh, wow. That's pretty neat. So now we move on to political affairs in Russia. It's home to a lot of administrators.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it is. It's also the state assembly to where it's housed.
Interesting.
Yep, and it also has multiple headquarters of different federal agencies and stuff like that.
What is our favorite organization?
Oh, see, that's a good question. So the federal agencies, it just says several important ministries and federal agencies also have their headquarters in the White House. Now the headquarters is the Russian government.
I think my favorite organization is the FSB, the Feds.
Wow. Oh, so you're a little alphabet boy?
Nah, they're level 4 plates. Do they have them? Who knows? We'll find out next time on RLR.
Hey, is that legal? Are those level 4 plates? We're not going to cover too much on this one because it is pretty self-explanatory. When I say administrators, it's most of the people that run Russia. They all kind of just live in.
So it's a pretty
Moscow.
Big capital city, you know.
Right, it is.
It happens.
It's massive. So,
moving on to geography.
Geography.
We love geography.
No, we don't.
Well, hey, we had geography in the same class.
We did.
And we both made A's. So.
We did. You know there's 49 bridges that span the city alone?
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's a lot of bridges.
That's all just within the city limits.
That's a lot of bridges I could burn.
That is. Do you know what the highest point is in Moscow?
I'm going to have to go with 837 feet or 255 meters.
Wow, you know what the name of it is?
I don't.
It is Tplostin Upland.
That sounds very complicated for something that's very tall.
Yeah, it is. You know the length of the city?
No, I don't.
The width of Moscow City from west to east is 39.7 kilometers or 24.7 miles, and the length from north to south is 51.8 kilometers or 32.2 miles.
That's a lot of square kilometers.
That's a big city.
That's a big city.
It's a big city. You know what happens in big cities?
Little people.
Lots of children. Lots of pennies.
Lots of pennies. We're bringing back the pennies. So, moving on to culture. In Moscow, it is known as the home of the ballet.
The ballet? The Russian ballet?
The Russian ballet.
The real famous one?
Yeah, what's her name again? Starts with White Scorpion. What's her name?
I have no idea.
Black Widow. She was a ballerina.
I hate you so much. It's also home to their film culture as well.
I think we did a project on film that one time.
I think we did.
How many filming what was it? 36 filming studios and 85% of them?
Yeah.
are all in Moscow.
Yeah. So it also has a bunch of international houses, and what we mean by that is there's the Moscow International Performance Arts Center, um, and there's also a few other international houses for arts, film, stuff like that, and they're all located in Moscow.
Interesting.
Right.
Very interesting. And as you can see in our photo here, we've got the culture.
We do have the culture. What about the Moose Film Studio?
The Moose Film Studio. I haven't heard about that in a while. But you know what I do know? It was the heart of many classic films in Russia.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
It is also a rare and historical film where rare and historical films may be seen in the Salut Cinema, where films from the Museum of Cinema collection are shown regularly.
Whoa, that's neat. What about some famous aspects?
Man,
Have you heard about their
yes.
architecture?
They have a lot of very interesting facts about their architecture.
They do. The city is home to several UNESCO World Heritage sites and is well known for its display of Russian architecture, particularly its historic Red Square and buildings such as St. Basil's Cathedral and the Moscow Kremlin, of which the latter serves as the seat of power for the government of Russia.
Man, one thing I've heard about the one of the architects that helped build some of the buildings in Moscow, they gouged out his eyes
Oh wow,
because they never wanted him to recreate anything again. So beautiful. Barely got to see his work.
that's messed up.
What a shame.
That's pretty messed up.
Oh well, let's move on.
Huel.
Huel Babineau.
So there's a reason we have a picture of Huel Babineau taking a nap on Walter White's money.
We do. What's that first bullet point say?
Moscow claims the largest number of billionaires in the world. Per Forbes, there are 84 billionaires in the city.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
And I would feel like Huel. If I was a billionaire, I would lay my money out.
Yeah,
I would nap on it because remember, he was like, "This changes a man."
It does. So tram number 3, what's that?
Apparently, it's the oldest route in Moscow and commenced on April 6, 1899.
Wow, that's older than I am.
Yeah, that's only a few years older. Never mind. I'm not going to finish that joke.
Moscow is named after a river?
I guess so.
Oh, okay then. So, what else is there?
I know over 6 million passengers use the Moscow Metro daily, making it the third busiest metro in the world.
Wow. Did you know Moscow State University has the world's largest university building?
We did not.
Well, now you do.
Now we do.
Now we do. Okay, well, I think this concludes our podcast.
We do enjoy having your company at RLR. Tune in next time for more shenanigans and more rejects.
More rejects. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Dar Svidanya.